welcome to my channel. So I'm Amy E and I'm on a journey of creating a webtoon. I've been wanting to create a webtoon for quite some time, since I downloaded the app basically, and that was probably in 2016, 2017, around there. Definitely the beginning of when I was in high school. And so when I was in high school, I wrote a bunch of story ideas. I had a book that I was writing, I had a graphic novel I was planning, and then I decided, oh yeah, let me also have a webtoon idea. So I started writing on that as well. So I had this big book. It's not this one, but it was like the equivalent to the size, where I wrote down all of my ideas, right? And recently the one to create a webtoon came back again, especially because I've been reading a lot of stories again. And so I actually went through that old book of mine from high school and I tore out all of the pages that were referencing my original webtoon idea from high school. And it's basically a romance, but going through what I wrote, it was pretty like immature, I guess. I think is the best way to explain it. Like, you can tell a 13 or 14-year-old wrote it. So what I've been doing is, these are the original pages from that book from high school that I tore out, and I've been rewriting it into this book. And so I got 2 pages so far, and yesterday I did a whole chatting session with my best friend. Let me explain to you this idea. So have I shown you what Webtoon actually looks like?
Yes.
Okay. So you understand that Webtoon is a website where you have these comic books and it's like a scrolling mechanism, and then you go from the canvas part of the site to the originals part. Update the episodes you've already done higher quality, and then you continue the series in that high quality. Yeah. Now I better get comfortable with where she gave me some notes on my ideas, and it is so much better just from that half an hour conversation with her. It is so much better thought out, and so that's why I think it's important to have other people that you trust input on these things, these big important things that you're doing. So yeah, that's basically me, and today I'm going to rewriting what I wrote from my rewritten version of high school, and now I'm gonna add the details that me and her spoke about. From there, I'm going to build on top of it a little bit, and I'm going to see another friend of mine later today, and he's also an inspiring writer. So with that, I'm going to talk to him about my idea for this romance webtoon, and whatever he has to say, I'll take in the input and see if it even grows further into something better like it did, and how it was productive with my other friend yesterday. So I don't plan on having too many talk sessions with friends regarding my webtoon, because my webtoon should still be my, you know, concept ideas and stuff. So I think every like 3 months or so, or every time I feel like a big decision needs to be made when it comes to the story, that's when I'll have a talk with someone and be like, hey, what do you think of this and this? But I think I'll keep it to these 2 friends, just so that I don't have to like keep re-explaining the whole thing from beginning to end to multiple people, you know. So yeah, I'm going to write a little bit. Today is day 2. Next day, and I'm gonna be real with you, I don't know what I'm doing. This is very much winging it. You know how I have all these pages? I'm gonna rewrite the following page. So I'm gonna get through a page a day from high school Amy's previous ideas and thoughts. Then I don't know what I'll do after that, but I think that's a good way to say, hey, at least you're doing some kind of progress, you know? I had a conversation with my writer friend yesterday, and he did give me some advice. I got one interesting little Easter egg, if that makes sense, now in the series, thanks to him. When I mean Easter egg, I just mean like a tiny little side thing, which I think is cute. It just gives one of my side characters a bit more of a personality and like an actual story in life, you know, outside of just being there for the main characters. There was a bit of like heads butting in that session of thinking, which I suppose one's gonna get when you get two writers. We are officially at the end of this video. I really hope that each video in the series gets better, at least when it comes to editing and filming, and becomes more interesting to watch. But let's get into the nitty-gritty little facts about how this process has been. What have I figured out when it comes to my series? Well, I know my main character, my main female character, and I know my main male character. I have a general idea of what they okay, to be honest, I have no idea what my male character looks like in my head. Like, I have the description of like his hair and like all that, but like I can't picture him. I don't know why, I just can't. And that's gonna definitely be a bit of a struggle when it comes to the whole design process later in the year, but we'll get there when we get there. So yeah, I have their friends figured out, their parents figured out, the sibling figured out. I have their why figured out. Now, one thing I do know about characters and how to write a good character is your character needs a why. What is motivating them to do what they do? Why do they have that job? Why do they want to do this thing? Why is it that they live in this country? Like, you need to understand the why, because that is a reader. You're like, but like, why is my character motivated to go stop the overlord, you know? Like, by the way, don't, like, that's unrelated, I'm just making stuff up. Basically, you need to understand the why behind your character, or else you're going to create a very flat character. So all my characters have their whys, so that's good. And yeah, that's basically that. When it comes to stats, I have spent 270 minutes total in the past 11 days. That gives me this average per day when it comes to me working on my webtoon. 100 minutes of that was feedback. That was me talking to my best friend and my other friend. So they were telling me what they thought of the book, the comic, and how I could make it better, and what is it that didn't make sense, or you should do this to make it make more sense. And those were very helpful. So I think I said it earlier on, but I'm gonna reiterate it again. Please find someone that you trust, be it your sister or a best friend or your mom or whoever it is in your life, and just like tell them, even if you don't want to tell them everything, maybe tell them if there's something in your own head that you're like, I don't know if I really like this aspect I've made in my comic. Let me get feedback from this person, and then see what they have to say. So like, maybe they like it, maybe they don't. And sometimes you can disregard people's advice, and you don't have to take every person's thing. They say, I don't like this thing about your character. You can say, okay, cool, but I do. I'm the writer. You get to decide what's in your book. But I think it's so important to get that advice from other people, so that you can understand how an outsider is going to see your book and how they're going to see your, story. And then 170 minutes was rewriting. So because this video was only referencing the pages I already did in high school, and rewriting it to be more mature and more thought-provoking and, just more fleshed out. So yeah, that 170 minutes was me rewriting. So the rest of these videos are going to be quite interesting to navigate, because it's going to have to involve me thinking like in the moment, and I've been doing that already with the rewriting. Like, there are some hectic things I wrote in high school that I'm like, where did this come from? Like, why is this so dramatic? It doesn't need to be that dramatic. So yeah, like I had to, and then I had to obviously change it in the spot while rewriting. So I already kind of had to think in the spot, but it's only really gonna be that. But yeah, this year we are focusing entirely on the story when it comes to the script writing, like writing down the dialogue and stuff like that, and me learning how to do that, and then showing you guys that skill as well, because I don't want to be a gatekeeper. I hope you'll stick around for the rest of the process of me
making this comic because I think I'm so excited, you have no idea, and I want to make it good. You know, I don't want to just throw something out there to say, oh, I created this. You know, I want it to be good. I want it to be the kind of thing that for me, when I'm reading a webtoon that I really like, I'm like, when I see them like upload, and I want mine to be one of those. I don't want it to be one of the comics that I'm reading because I'm waiting for my other webtoons to update. You know what I mean? Like, there's some comics that you read just because you're bored. I don't want it to be that one. So yeah, that's me for today. See you in the next one.